More details on the agreement reached by European leaders. We're joined now by our Europe correspondent, Philip Williams. Phil, good morning. As we're reporting this morning, a huge rally on global markets on the back of this deal.
Yes, I absolutely loved it. On the back of the Australian, Japanese, the Asian markets in general. That flowed through and some more. The FTSE went up 2.9%. The DAX was up 5.35%. And the French market, spectacular, 6.28%. Now, leading the markets, of course, were banking stocks and resources stocks. Some of the banking stocks went up enormously, 15-20%. Relief that at last there was a plan. Now, of course, there's a great deal of debate just how effective that plan will be. But for the moment, within this brief period, this window, it seems to be thumbs up, and everyone, at least in the market, seems relieved and prepared to run with it.
But the great fear, as you know, Phil, is that policymakers may have a devilish time tracking down, hammering down that detail.
Absolutely, it comes down to that, and so much of that detail simply isn't there. For example, just how is this $1 trillion emergency fund, the bailout fund, actually going to be engineered? They have $440 billion in the pot. Well, actually, they don't. They've committed half of that already. So how are they going to leverage that up? And who is going to recapitalise the banks in the way that they're asking? That's another 109 billion euro. Many unanswered questions. One of the possibilities is that the Chinese may come in and do their bit, and they're being encouraged to do so. Nicolas Sarkozy, the French president, is going to be talking to Hu Jintao about that very issue. But, you know, as many commentators have said, no one invests for nothing. There's got to be something in it for them. And so many of these loose ends yet to be tied up.
And although there's this in-principle agreement for the banks exposed to Greece to take this 50% so-called haircut, there is at this stage, as I can read it, no guarantee that the banks will willingly embrace this.
No, although there is supposed to be prima facie agreement amongst most of the banks. But yes, it is voluntary. Now, not many banks will voluntarily go along and say, yeah, sure, we'll write off those billions. There's got to also be some inducement along the way, some guarantee that there will be at least some government support for them along the way, especially if some of them are threatened as a result of that. Particularly the French banks have been very exposed to the Greek crisis, and they are being asked to disproportionately, in the sense that they've got such deep investments, take the haircut. But we're told that they know about it. They have said yes, or largely said yes to this. But again, we have to see the reality. It's all talk at this stage.
And despite the writing off of half of these debts, the Greece debt burden is still going to be massive, and equally the challenge facing Italy is also going to be huge in getting its financial house in order. There is still every chance that Europe could tip into a deep and possibly lasting recession.
Absolutely, and many commentators, most commentators say this is a holding operation only. This isn't the last word we'll hear on the whole crisis. On the Italian situation, really what they've done is try and build this firewall to protect it from the Greek contagion, and basically say, yes, we have enough in the war chest to buy the Italian bonds ourselves at a reasonable rate, and so that the market doesn't punish them, doesn't take flight and create a second Greece and on a much grander scale. Similarly, the same sort of fear existed with Spain. As for the Greeks themselves, yes, they're going to be down by 9 years' time. They'll be down to 120% GDP, which is where the Italians are now. That sounds like still a very high ratio. It is, but so much better than the 180% they're going to be projected to in a short time. So it is a big improvement for them. They at least have a chance of paying this back. They simply weren't in the hunt before. Things were just going bad from worse. They were going to be borrowing money to pay back money. At least this way, the government believes they have a ghost of a chance of getting out of the mess over time, and it will be over a long time.
Oh, well, fingers crossed. Phil Williams in London, thank you very much.
And toes crossed, yes, thank you.